Good evening. Welcome once again, all you listeners and viewers, wherever you are. Welcome to Ashford Garley Live here on Breach Radio Africa. My name is Volcano Shelton here with you this evening. I'm co-host of the program. Ashford wouldn't be in with us tonight, but we promise to have a great one. We want to welcome all of you wherever you are. We come on 8 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays here on our Facebook and YouTube channels simultaneously. So we just say thank you for being a loyal, fan coming on with us every day. When we come on, we want to extend our appreciation to you out there, wherever you are. If you're celebrating your birthday today, we also want to say happy birthday, whatever the occasion is. I know a lot of people celebrating birthdays today who are, on Facebook, because we see the information trending, so welcome to the show. I'm not going to be here alone tonight. We'll be looking at, I'm potentially going to have two studio guests. We'll be discussing a fundraising program spearheaded by the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. So that's one of the things that we'll be covering. And also the projects, they have projects that are going to be doing as a result of raising, money through this fund drive. But if you just joining us, we want to welcome you. And so we quickly want to say thank you to our sister radio stations in Liberia for carrying our broadcast. We want to wholeheartedly thank Top FM in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County, 105.3. We also want to remember Joy FM 101.5 and Life FM 104.1. Those stations are very, dedicated to the relationships we have with them, and they've been very, very helpful in terms of broadcasting our podcasts out there in the country. Because it's important. Not everyone's capable of going on Facebook because of data or YouTube to catch us live. So when they relay these content, it helps to inform the people. So tonight is all about Grand Gedeh. So I'm sure the people in Grand Gedeh via Top FM, hopefully they're listening, will benefit as a result of the discussions tonight. One other thing we also want to extend, don't forget our membership drive is still ongoing. Remember a few months ago, we kind of launched our membership drive, $10 a month, $120 a year, just to contribute so that we can continue to increase, our audience. One of the most important things is technology to keep this platform going. So we need a whole lot behind the scenes. We do a lot. Look at the studio, look at the lighting, look at, the clarity and all of that. The content that we bring, all those things are very, very expensive, and so we've been coming out of pocket, and it's kind of draining. That's why we wanted to ask you, our loyal fans, to come in and chip in and do something with us, because at the end of the day, we're all in the same boat. We're doing this for Liberia, our common patrimony. We're doing this because it is important that we have, and we appreciate all the different platforms all over, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Once we're all talking about, bringing hope to our country, improving the standard of living of our people, just holding government foot to the fire, preaching good governance, all of those tenets of leadership is very important. And that's why we will not shrink from this responsibility. And we want to encourage, you, our viewers, when you come online, come in, just jot down your points. It's important. We don't expect that everyone going to call, but you have the platform. Go ahead, type in. We'll read some of those stuff. All right. So we want to just keep it civil, and we just want to be able to do this for all of us. So I say thank you. Quickly want to remember Raymond S. Clark. Raymond, man, good to hear from you again. John Pay. I see Liberia. I also see Moses Dave. Jack March. Welcome, bro. And Stephen Chayo, Martha Doki, all you wonderful people out there this evening. Now, if you're on my end here, it's really, really cold. We've been having snow since yesterday into the day, and everywhere outside is all white. So, it's cold out there. So if you're in the Pennsylvania area, you want to dress warm. But I'm sure the cold is almost everywhere, especially between the Midwest and the East Coast right now. So welcome all you folks, and let's go straight to our studio guest. Um, Let me bring my studio guest in studio. Mr. James Youboty is the president of the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. Good evening, sir. Welcome. You're looking good. You're looking good. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. I hope you can hear me well.
Yeah, maybe you just project your voice a little more.
Okay, thank
All
you. You
right.
want me to speak a little louder? Is it better?
Yeah, just to project your voice a little more, or if you can
Okay,
carry the volume up on your gadget, whatever you're
okay, let me
using.
see. Okay, it's to the loudest.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
let's get even louder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everyone gonna pick you up. But welcome. You reached out to Bridge Radio Africa the other day, and you said you guys were, from the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas, and you were contemplating on doing a project in Liberia, and you were raising funds for this project. Is this the Grand Gedeh Association that was a few years ago in this leadership controversy? Is it the same organization?
Well, everything is I don't know what you mean by leadership controversy,
There
but
was
some
there
years
was
ago
this
we
one
basically
time
won.
where the leadership was kind of having issues. I believe 2 or 3 years ago. Probably that was before you. I'm just
Let
trying
let
to
let, let
resuscitate my mind. That's all. Try to get back to the basic. Is there the same Grand Jude? Is there only one Grand Jude Association in the Americas?
only one Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. I don't want to get into who got controversy, who doesn't have it. So, like they will say here in America, I plead the fifth.
Okay, so no comment.
No comment here.
All right. But then let's just talk about your leadership now. Tell us a little bit about you, because the audience don't know who maybe James Youboty is. Tell us a little bit about you and how you became president of the GGAA.
Well, thank you, Miss Shelton, James Youboty, a Liberian from Grand Gedeh. I reside in the city of Philadelphia. I became president of Grand Gedeh Association in May 2019. So, since that time, we were elected in Minneapolis. We had our inauguration in Kentucky. And since that time, we have not had any other physical program because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So, but nevertheless, we told our people that we're going to undertake certain projects. So the little money we already have, we are using it to do what we have to do.
So, okay, so since you took the helm of leadership, it's been marred by the COVID-19, and so you haven't been able to do much as a result of the pandemic.
No, not really, not physical activities because that's how we raise our money. But we have not had. When we left the inauguration, we had one fundraiser in Des Moines, Iowa. Was supposed to have gone to Philadelphia, but then the prohibition came from the cities and the states that there shouldn't be any physical activities because of the coronavirus. So it kind of put us in your, for lack of a better word, put us in a catch 22, so to speak. But nevertheless, like they say, life goes on. We have to do what we have to do to keep the promise that we made to the people.
So, how has it been since your leadership? Before we come to the fundraising, how has it been, irrespective of everything that's happening?
Well, is I don't know. I'm not enjoying it because when you go to conventions, you interact with your brethren, you play music, you dance, have fun. People bring in their money at the same token, they get satisfaction out of it. But right now, nothing is doing, so everybody is just relaxed, Some people getting discouraged. They want to know when we're going to have physical activity. In fact, we're supposed to have convention May. We have convention every May. Last year, May 2020, we didn't have any convention because of prohibitions. Now, this year, May is like, what, about 3 months away? We don't know. We're supposed to be going to Kansas City, Missouri, but Missouri, like other states, is on lockdown. So I don't even know what's going to happen. So
But
I'm
there
not
are other
enjoying it. If you ask me, I'm not enjoying it.
But there are other organizations that are now using social media platform like Zoom, GoToMeeting, those kinds of technology to still hold their programs, their conventions, and still tax their members to pay their dues or the convention fees. Have you started thinking about that? Because we don't know. And you can sit there and hope that things going to improve and not strategize and begin to prepare yourself. Is that something that you and your leader core of leadership officers thinking about?
Yeah, anything is possible, sir. Except that when uh when our constitution was written, such a thing was never envisioned. So I am just the president. Our constitution states that outside of the convention, the board of directors uh, make those kind of decision. So we have stakeholder we working with. When they come out with something similar that you are saying, then we will go along with it. But I cannot get up all by myself and say I'm amending the Grand Gedeh Association constitution. The constitution states, and I'm repeating myself, that outside of the national convention, we is the highest decision-making body. The board of directors come in with ideas. So, whatsoever idea or ruling comes down from the board will be passed on to the people.
But wouldn't you say that if you, the president who leading the hymn of leadership, decide that this is what you wanted to do and you propose it and put it before the board, then that would be the route to go? Have you thought about that?
We actually went through that, and there are some deliberation going on right now with the board. I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I just want to leave it as it is. We'll be hearing from them pretty soon, and whatever they say, the public will be informed.
All
But we,
right.
we are not sleeping on it. We are actually on it. Like I said earlier, I'm not enjoying anything. I want to be able to interact with my people physically. I'm not doing that. So my presidency is in isolation. I really don't like it.
Okay, so it seems as though you're an action man. All right. So
Mhm.
let's come to the fund drive. Accordingly, the fund drive already started. Is that true?
It has.
And when did it start? In approximation, a month
The,
ago, two
the,
months
the
ago?
online the online fund drive started. Well, it started a long time ago, but it was suspended because of the pandemic. But we have started it now online. We started the fund drive online. Some people have started making a contribution already. So this is that thing, I think the laser. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. My phone battery was cutting out. I'm trying to adjust it. Yeah, hello,
Okay,
you can
you're
hear me?
looking good. You're looking
Yeah.
good now.
Okay.
All right. So you were saying,
No, I was saying that the phone drive started a long time ago. Some people have started making contribution already. So the projects we are undertaking for which we having fund drive, if you ask or if you want to know, will be we building a 12-foot statue of the late president of Liberia.
yeah, we're going to
Which,
come to that. We're going to
oh,
come to
okay,
that. Don't let the cat out of the bag yet. I'm
okay,
just trying to understand. The fund drive started a little while. How is
yeah,
it going? Are people making contribution? Are
yeah.
people, committing to it? Pledges are being, paid, or it's just people just make big noise and they're not doing anything?
both, both,
Both.
both. But I
So,
would say people have started making contribution already. And I'm very grateful to those people. It is my hope and prayer that other people will follow suit. But people have started making contribution. The first person on the list, my older brother John Youboty in Monrovia, he contributed $5,000 already,
That's
and then
good.
that Boyi Bawu in Minneapolis contributed 3,000 on behalf of he and his father. That John Glue Jr. sent in $1,000, and Mr. Esilo Awuswe, he worked for the funeral home here in Philadelphia. He gave us 1,000.
That's 10
I
grand.
myself, who talking here, I brought in $500.
10,500 already.
My younger sister Cecilia Youboty, she brought 300. My vice president Asika brought in $300, and I don't have the list. I'm just seeing all these things off my head.
So that's
Mr.
not bad.
Jesse, he brought 100.
11,100. We're still
And
counting. So
there's
that's
a
not
lady
bad.
who
So
does online broadcast just like you. They call her Roslyn Wenley. They call her Lifestyle, the Propo. She is not from Grand Gedeh. Oh, she lives in Sweden, I think. She sent us $100. She said she impressed with what we are doing. And another lady, Susan, she lives in Europe as well. She sent $70. And we are just getting started, and we got all of that, so I'm sure we'll do very well. You know, it's income tax season, so a lot of people told me, James, don't worry, as soon as I do my tax return, I'll be sending in my contribution. So I said, okay, I understand.
so
So
this
the,
go ahead.
the 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 last program that we have, physical, a lot of people made promises and what have you. And I'm appealing to those people that the time has come for you to make good on your pledges. We need the money now to complete the project. So wherever you are, if you hear my voice, please honor your pledges that you made. We need it now.
And how long that has been since those pledges were made?
Uh, mhm, it was like December, the last program we have physical was December 2014 in Des
2014
Moines,
or
Iowa.
2019? You mean 2019?
2019, oh my God.
Ah, okay.
2019, December 2019, in December
All
in
right.
Des Moines, Iowa. And a
Okay.
lot of people made pledges there. So please, my people, when you hearing me, the projects are in full swing. They are at the completion stage. So we need the pledges that you made, and we need new contributions and what have you.
So, Mr. Youboty, is there a price tag for this fund drive where it come to say how much we need to raise? Because as I said, we're not talking the project yet. We're talking about the instrumentation of raising this money. So this fund drive, do you have a set amount? How much it's going to be that you want to
The,
target?
the board of directors, we submitted our budget to them, and they approved us for 100, I think 172,000
For the projects?
for us to do the three projects.
Okay.
So that's the limit, and they gave us the go ahead to go from state to state or however way we can do it to have a fund drive to raise the money to undertake the projects. That's what we were doing when pandemic came and slowed us down. And we're not having convention, we're not having anything. So no money coming in, so we decided to go online to have the fund drive.
Okay. All right. So you're talking 172,000 and change for this. Uh, So, do you have a time limit as to when this fund drive how long it's gonna go?
Well, the first one for the projects that are already on the ground, you told me not to go there yet. The project we need it by the end of March,
Okay,
early April. We need to have whatever money we can have to complete the first phase of the project. And then we have a second phase. That one, that's something else for that. But the first phase of the project, we need it by the end of March. If we can get it sooner, that would be good so that the people will get started.
okay, so good. So then we already have something set up now. We know we're raising money. We're raising $172,000. The whole idea here is to tackle three projects. Let's talk about the projects in phases now. Let's talk about the first project you said that is potentially for March or April. What is that project, and how much that project out of the three projects in the total tune will cost?
The first project is actually will be two, because we have the basketball court for
Okay.
the community college that is already in Zwedru. It was delivered to the college uh, about 2 months ago.
What was delivered?
The basketball backboard,
Okay.
customized basketball backboard, is a Grand Gedeh Association in America and Grand Gedeh Community College on the basketball backboard. Now we need to build the court itself. That requires money, but the backboard itself is in Zwedru. In Zwedru. Then the second one is the
So,
statue.
so so before you get to the second one, let's talk about the basketball court. What is the estimate to do the basketball court? Because people who
The,
listening
the,
tonight, some people may not want to give money. They may want to give cement. Some people
yeah,
may want to give crush rock. Some people may want to give steroid. So what is the cost? What did the college tell you, or the engineers, or the people who are going to do this project in terms of building it? What did it say it would cost?
the tentative estimate that I got to build a court was about $20,000. They said that they don't have a a, a, a bad ground, so we have to go and clear the ground of trees and what have you, so that will require caterpillar and all that stuff before
Yeah,
building
to
the
give it
actual
to give it a
basketball court.
surface, the
Yeah,
surface.
the surface of it, we gotta prepare the surface before we build the court. So if they have a bare ground, we're just gonna go get the cements and stuff, build the foundation and put it on. But because of that additional clearing gonna cost about $20,000 to build the court. But in the event that they give us a bare surface, then we don't have to spend the additional. Like Liberia as a whole is full of forest. And the place where they have the college is like way on the outside of Zwedru City. So they have a lot of trees around there that have to be cleared out for us to do what we have to do.
So the court will be on the outside. Are they putting any seating
No, no,
around
the
it or
basketball
anything?
court is on the outside.
That's what I'm
The
saying. Are
area.
they going to put little seating around it, like a small little stadium for the spectators? I'm just asking.
First thing first, let build the code first. Then we'll
Okay.
get to that one. Maybe the people coming after me might want to build what's that they call it, benches? Why do you call that thing
The
benches?
benches, yeah, the
Yeah,
benches, the concrete
yeah,
benches around.
yeah. So let's build the code first. Then the next people coming might do that. Or if we have enough money, we might do it. But the first thing is to build the basketball court. The backboards are in Zwedru right now, waiting for us to build the court so that they will be erected. And not just for basketball, it's for table tennis and volleyball as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the second project.
The second project, which, if you ask me, is our number one project, is a 12-foot likeness, or by likeness, I mean a statue of our late president, Dr. Samuel Kanye Doe. So that project is already complete. It has been shipped to Liberia. It will be arriving by the end of March, early April. So when it gets to Monrovia, it will be taken to Zero. Hopefully, we want to do that before rainy season come and cut the road. So we need to have all the money we can have so that the engineer on the ground will do the erection of the platform. We want to have an elaborate platform for this. The statue itself is 12 feet. The height of the statue is 12 feet. So the platform, maybe in two layers, by the time it's said and done, we're going to be standing maybe about 20 feet in the air, you know.
So you talked about the statue already being made, but I've been hearing some things going around about this statue. That it doesn't look like the person who is going to bear, meaning President Doe. It was made in China, and the statue looked like Chinese man. Did you hear something like that?
Burkina, I'm so happy you're from Liberia, whereby the saying in Liberia is you go to the market to buy your boni.
And you listen to the noise.
Just buy that bone and get out of there. The noise will always be there. Unfortunately, Liberians, on the average, not all of them, are critics. But you, the doer, when you say, okay, you know what, since you know it, or go do it, you don't have the slightest idea where to start from. Or I'm hoping and praying that the other guest will come on and then she will really tell you that it's a family, a child of the late president. We did it in conjunction with them, and they gave us approval that they start to look like their father. If you saw the flyer, that image was taken from a $50 Liberian banknote. It looked, the people who built that statue did a great job. With all my so-called graphic art ingenuity, I wouldn't have done that. It did a great job. Some people, I see comments on Facebook, oh, but it look like Doe. Let's say about 10 people say it look like Doe, 1 or 2 people say it don't look like Doe. Maybe they just doing it for the heck of it. But it does look like the man who is intended to look for. So I don't know what they're talking about.
And how much did the statue cost now that it's already completed and is being shipped?
We got a body with that statue costing about little less than 20,000, and then it was shipped for about 4,500. So let's say, give and take, about almost $25,000.
So hopefully by the time the statue gets seated, it may be about 30,000 because you got to build it, form, and all of that, right?
Yeah, but the phone will cost more than they cost way more than that. That
Wow.
maybe building the platform might cost another 25, 30,000 because look, you're not just gonna build the platform, you're gonna build a surrounding. Maybe you put benches and things for people to sit around, plant flowers.
Like a little garden.
Like a little garden, exactly. I don't know if you've been to Zwedru before, but they have a place there called the Triangle. It's centrally located. No, so long you hit Central Zwedru, no matter which direction you come from, you will see the triangle there. So everybody's saying we should put it in the triangle, but the problem is that there is a building in the triangle. Another place will be in front of the Tottenham Palace, but the city mayor and the superintendent, they are sold on the idea of the statue. Everybody is excited, but right now they told us to hold on because President Weah is visiting. He's in Grand Gedeh right now as we speak. So when he leaves, then they will get back to us and tell us exactly where the statue will be erected. Like I said, it should be arriving by the end of March, so we got enough time for them to tell us where the statue should be erected.
Just before I come back to you, there's uh one viewer here tonight says her name is Selu Adu,
Okay,
and she says my siblings and I agree wholeheartedly that the statue looks like our father. To
okay.
God be the glory, and we want to thank you, Mr. Youboty, and the GGAA for what you've done so far. So that authenticates that what people are saying that the statue look like a Chinese man, that's not true. But anything that comes from China, people kind of question it. You know,
Thank
it's
you. I want to say thank you to Silu. That's Silu Doe, but she
yes,
married now, so she moved using her husband's name.
okay.
Thank you so much, Silu. Thank you for quote unquote having my back. Because when we were putting that statue together, when they sent me the first draft, I forwarded it to the children and Modernese do, and they all say, oh, change this, change that. Oh, he has a mark on his face. And we take all the little details into consideration until we got what we got now. But let me also tell you, a lot of people don't really know President Doe. It's been 30 years since he died. Somebody who is 40 years old now was just 10 years old when the president died. So they really don't know him. And when Doe first became president, he was real skinny. But over the years, when he settled in, he put on a few weight. His physical structure changed a little. So when you see his pictures, they are different. But basically, it's the same person. Even me, who talking right now, some people who have not seen me for 10, 20 years, when they see me, they pass by me because I look kind of different. What the Charles Darwin called it, evolution, right? We are evolving. We getting old. Look at Volcano right now. Young boy like you yesterday. Now you getting old now. You know, when some people see you say, "Oh, Volcano, you got gray hair now." And you know, so when somebody make a statue of you, the way you look right now, and somebody who haven't seen you for 20 years, and they see that style, they say, "Oh no, not my man Volcano that I know." That's what they would say. But you're not gonna listen to these things. You gotta do what you got to do, and we are doing what we got to do. I'm happy that the family is behind. Or I asked one of the siblings, one of the civil sisters, if you were my teacher, what grade you gonna give me on the work we've done so far? And she told me I give you a 92%. So I said, oh, hey, I got an A then. I passed with flying color. So the people who got their father say it look like him, who are you to say it don't look like him? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you just joining us, here we are. This is Breach Radio Africa. Ashford Garden Life is the program. We're broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube. We come on every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 a.m. GMT. Wherever you're picking up signal, I'm sure that many of our viewers out there in Australia, in Asia, in Europe, the time zone kind of different, but if you're picking up signal, we say thank you for being there with us. For those of you here in the US, I see a lot of you on this call, on this show tonight, rather. I want to say welcome, Ibrahim Bangu, um, uh, Tanun Jala, Natu Kain, David Banto, again, Silu Adu, Rukans de Duata. Wow, okay. Mapla Nikia, Abu Bebeto Fofana, Moses Dave, Jack Murch, Flomo Gawolokwe, Manuel Siawe Jr., Martha Doki, Stephen Chayo, all you wonderful people, Raymond Clark, welcome to the program tonight. Ashford is not with us. Oh, Emmanuel Jackson just got in watching. Welcome again, Emmanuel. Um, Ashford is not with us tonight, but I'm sure he's listening. As promised, we here with the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. We're discussing the fundraising program and also the three projects, the projects that they are raising this morning to developed. We have in studios Mr. James Youboty. He is the current president of the association. We expected to have Veronica Mamie Doe, daughter of the late President Samuel Doe. But I believe the time zone, she's currently in Liberia and is after one, it's about 1:34 there. So we're hoping that she'll come in tonight. And I say 1:34 a.m. So imagine. So I'm hoping that she'll come in tonight, but hopefully she'll come in and join this discussion. Kafina Williams and Zayonla Cheyi, welcome to the program. Mr. Youboty, so we talked about the basketball court. We talked about the statue. Now, you said those two projects would be in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County. The basketball court would be at the Grand Gedeh Community College, and the statue would be somewhere in rather Zwedru, but has not been identified the location. Someone will ask here tonight, why is it not in Tuzon, the president's hometown? Why didn't you guys take it to his hometown? Why are you bringing it to to Zwedru?
You know, the premise. Let's set the premise. Uh, President Doe was president
You please
of
project a
Liberia.
little. Please speak out a little.
President Doe was president of Liberia. Is it better?
Yeah, much better. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So figuratively, the reason we are even honoring him is because of that nomenclature. President of Liberia, first indigenous president, and son of Grand Gedeh County. So son of Grand Gedeh County must be memorialized in the capital city of Grand Gedeh County. We're not doing it because he was son of Tuzon. We're doing it because he was son of Grand Gedeh County, and our son became the first president. The seat of government of Grand Gedeh is Zwedru. So that's why we're taking it to Zwedru, not Tuzon.
Is there any political implications here?
Meaning what?
I mean, could there be any political influence?
Nobody influenced us to take the statue to Zwedru instead of Tucson. No, we just look at the logic of it, that the statue should be taken to Zwedru and not Tucson. We didn't even think about Tucson. We are Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. You know, we don't have anything against the people in Tucson, but why should we put our figurative son of Grand Gedeh County likeness in just one section? Let's put him in the general section, which is Grand Gedeh County. That's our capital city. That's where he's supposed to go for now. And then later on, if the people in Monrovia think that his statue should be taken to Monrovia, then hey, if they can assist, or another statue will be built to maybe be taken in front of SKD Stadium. Maybe. I'm just saying something. I'm not saying that that will happen.
There are big people in the county. Some of these people, have you reached out to some of these people to contribute to this project? These three projects, I'm talking in terms of George Bowley, who is representative, Zoe Penner, who just became senator, Representative Grant, all these guys, the city mayor you talked about, the superintendent. What is their role in supporting this lofted project? Because it's not just to the glory of Grand Gedeh Association here in the U.S. It's also for the county, and it boosts the county, image and the country as a whole. Do you think that they're going to support it, or have you reached out to them in any way?
Yeah, Mr. Shelton. Yeah, we did. We wrote down a letter about a year ago when the thing was first like an embryo. They were rating, and even the superintendent acknowledged on one of the talk shows that we did write him a letter. And my chief of staff, Mr. Wayne Cooper, is in Zwedru right now. He and the city mayor, they went around. My liaison officer, Randall Youboty, they all went to Zwedru. Everybody is aware. And by coincidence, the Grand Gedeh Legislative Caucus, the current chairman, Mr. Ellie Chester Grant, he was there with my chief of staff. And like I said, everything is on a standstill right now because President Weah is there. When he leaves, then they will have a meeting to decide what to do. Number three, when it starts to get to Liberia, in Monrovia, before it is taken to Grand Gedeh, they will have a fundraiser program in Zwedru with all the stakeholders there, not just Grand Gedeh Liberians. And the statue will be taken to Grand Gedeh. I have to say they are taking the body of President Samuel Khandel Doe to its fund resting place in Grand Gedeh County. So yeah, we are in touch with them.
All right, thank you. I have Veronica Mamie Doe on the line
Oh wow,
from
okay.
Liberia. Veronica, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm here. Thank you.
Can you hear her, Mr.
I hear
Youboty?
her very well. Hello, mommy. Welcome. Welcome, mommy. I can hear her very well.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, good.
Have you been following the program since we started?
No, I have not. Sorry.
Okay. Anyhow, we've
I've
been
been trying to see how to get on.
okay. We've been covering the project. We now on President Doe. Um, One of the questions I asked Mr. Youboty, the president of the GGAA, regarding the statue, and there were lots of talks around uh, social media in circles where that the statue didn't look like President Doe. The statue was made in China. It looked like a Chinese man, and in fact, they said that the people charged $75,000 to do the statue. So I threw the question out to him. Now, have you been the daughter of President Doe, seen the statue? One of your sisters just came on by the name of Selu or Silu. She did
Mhm.
confirm that she thought the statue looks like her father. What do you say, Veronica?
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know which Chinese man that looks like a black man because that statue definitely looks like our father. I have no idea. I'm sure they're just joking. Seriously, they cannot be serious. When the statue, the initial drawing of the statue, the sketches, even the molding, um, we the family and I and the GGA president, Mr. Youboty, we were in constant communication. And we would say, yeah, it looks like it. Oh, I think you should do this. Because the first time they did it, they left the mark on his forehead. So we said, no, go back and do the mark and do the eyes like this. And so eventually we said, the $50 Liberian dollar, let's go over that. So we, the family, have been in constant contact from every part of the process, from every stage. And that statue does not look like a Chinese man. And we, the family, were really, really happy about it. We feel that it looks like our father.
So, Veronica, what do you think this statue means for you, the daughter, and for your family as a whole, and the people of Grand Gedeh and the Republic of Liberia?
I think that statue means a lot. It symbolizes the sacrifice of one man and the PRC and the people. It symbolizes how far we have come as a nation. And also it's very symbolic of the strength of it's very symbolic of where we've been as a country, and it shows that Samuel Khandel was the first in many things, before 1980, we as Native people, we weren't allowed so much. We didn't have that much opportunity. We didn't have that much privilege. And through Samuel Khandel, our eyes are open. That's why they call him the eyes opener. He was the first of many things. So that statue is just the beginning of what is yet to come.
Do you think that statue breeds reconciliation? I mean, and the truth is, there are people who are still hiding, from the era prior to President
Mm-hmm.
Doe's, leadership, and now where we
Mm-hmm.
are, the country being, still not reconciled. Do you think it's going to help to heal?
Mm-hmm. I think so, because prior to this statue coming in, there was nothing about Samuel Khandel who had to refer to, people had to look at. It was just whatever about him is what was said. But now with the statue, people are going to look at Samuel Khandel, what did he do? And we'll be able to teach our generation, this is what he did. These are the sacrifices that he did, So hopefully with everything looking forward, that statue is definitely meant for reconciliation, because we, the natives, at least we have something to say, okay, this is what this son of Grand Gedeh did to Liberia, because it wasn't just for Grand Gedeh only, but it was for the whole of Liberia. So hopefully that should be, bring some reconciliation.
Mr. Youboty, let me come to you. Veronica, please stay on the line. Quick question here.
Okay.
Will you guys put any kind of what you call plaque on the statue to give some detailed histories about President Doe, some of the things that groundbreaking things that he did in his leadership tenure? Because you talked about the generation of 1990 to now don't know anything about President Doe except just what they've heard, like Veronica said. Will you guys be doing something like that?
Oh yeah, we're gonna have an inscription underneath the feet of the statue. We're gonna have an inscription describing who image is there. Yep, we will. Yep.
So, Veronica, coming back to you, how does your mother feel about this whole project?
Oh, she's very, very happy. She even during the initial stages when we were going through the sketches and molding of the statue and going back and forth, she called Mr. Youboty, she called I think the GGAA board, and she was able to talk to them, and she expressed her gratitude. This is all the way back, I don't know how many months ago, probably like 5 or 6 months ago. She called them to express her gratitude. So she's very happy, She really wants people to know the truth, really want to know who Samuel Khandel was, and not what the media tells you, and not what, his opposition, or what they will tell you. But she is really, really happy about the statue. And she's really, really happy that people will start asking the, questions.
So if I were to ask you tonight, what is that one or two things that you remember your father for and you wanted Liberian people to remember him for, what would it be?
Oh my goodness, most people don't know this, but okay, it has been noted that he's extremely smart, but most people didn't know that he has photographic memory. He could remember anything about anything that he's read, and he will recall it step by step. So that's one thing I want people to know. And also, he was very, very jovial. He's a very, very fun-loving person, He used to like to make fun of people. He used to like to laugh a lot, but also he had integrity. He had lots and lots of integrity.
Okay. Did you and him get along?
Yeah, yeah, they're the oldest. So yeah, we got along very, very well.
I was growing up, and when Mr. Youboty and Veronica, when President Doe came to power, I was
Mhm.
very young, 12 years old, I believe, 11, 12, and right after the Redemption Council government, they put up some calendars, and the first family.
Mhm.
Were you on that calendar? Do you remember that calendar,
I
Veronica?
was, and I'm still looking for a copy. Yeah, I'm looking for a copy. Is anyone there with a copy, spare copy? Honestly, I remember the calendar. Yeah,
Yeah, so there was this
I remember
calendar
it
that
very
was
well.
made, which he, Nancy, the mom, your brother,
Mhm.
seven kid junior, you, and somebody else. Probably there were three kids or either two kids. It had been so long. We're talking 40
Mhm.
years, 40 or what? Yeah, 40 years ago. And the
Mhm.
statue was one of those not statue, rather the calendar was one of the calendars, and then there was another one with the PRC itself and the enlisted men.
Mhm.
You say you're looking for that statue. Come on, what statue?
Calendar.
Calendar.
The calendar. Yeah, yeah, I remember. I actually remember going to take that calendar. I was really we were in a me and Sam and I weren't really happy that day. I can't remember what, but was quarreling, fighting. Yeah, yeah, so we went to take it. So by the time we got to the studio, we were just really in a bad mood. So I remember going to take it that day. And actually, since then, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it at all. I would like to see one.
So you never saw the calendar even while growing up?
No, no, no. I remember seeing it. I
Okay.
remember when I was young, but of course, I didn't appreciate it then. You
Yeah, I
know?
know. Because you look frown on the
Yeah.
calendar.
All of us. I remember they saying, "Your smile, your show your teeth, your smile," and we were just not happy. Yeah. Yeah. I remember all our faces were frown. I remember thinking that, and I remember when we used to say, I think my mom had when her office was up, and every time I see that camera, I would be hitting my teeth. Now, I wish I could see it again. It's like, wow.
Well, at least you got some memory. At least President Doe still have bill in the country, meaning money that
Mhm.
carries his legacy. The
Mhm.
Tamuka and Doe Sports Complex still bears his
Mhm.
name. Uh,
Mhm.
the promotion of sports in Liberia. Uh, it's like
Mhm.
he's the pioneer of that because when we were growing up, you play
Mhm.
football, you grown up ball. But President Doe changed the landscape, and today the current president George Weah is a product of what President Doe did, and he should
Mhm.
owe that owe that loyalty to the late President Doe for his
Yeah. Mhm.
putting his arms around soccer
Mhm.
or sports in general. We also can say that he strengthened the army, you know,
Mhm.
during his tenure. Um, but is
Yeah.
there anything you want to talk about regarding this segment? Because that's the only segment we brought you in for. Before you take leave of
Yeah.
us, I know that it's kind of late over there. Uh,
Yeah. It's like, yeah, 150. I just really I go thank you to everyone who have really, really, I cannot tell you what it means for us to have a DJ person like Mr. James Youboty and his current administration, And, actually, we were really puzzled to why all the distractors, I mean, you hear people insulting his mother, insulting. It's just so, they should be really ashamed of themselves, insulting the man for trying to do something, because we know that that this administration in the parties, they're really, really progressive. They're really, really project oriented. And when he came, he said that's what he was going to do, and this is exactly what he's done. And so I just encourage him and his administration to just continue with what they're doing,
mhm,
and for God to give us strength and for them to overcome. Because I know they're not just building the statues, they're building the library, and they're also building a basketball court. And despite coronavirus, they haven't really been able to meet and really generate funds like they normally would.
mhm,
But yet, because he's been very persistent, we have so many major donators, people who are donating so much. And I just want to say thank you to all of them. Even we, the children, we're having our own fundraising to be able to make our little contribution. It's just a token, but it's a meaningful token. To even go towards our father, we don't want to say, okay, because everyone is donating, we're just going to say, but no, that's not it. When all the children were coming together and we're even putting together, we're doing our low donation amongst ourselves in order to contribute on behalf of the Khandel family. So I'm saying this to say thank you to all the people, the Youboty family. God bless them. His sister, Sister Eva, even his brother John. I mean, they're really, really putting pretty much when the money where the mouths are. They've been really keen donating so much money. And also Dr. William Bowie. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Mr. Exodus, Hausa, I think it was, and Dr. John Yu. We just really want to say thank you. We appreciate for everything, even all the other major contributors, because there's so many people. It doesn't matter if it's just $5, even 1,000. We just want to say thank you and God bless you. Because taking the step to recognize Sandra Khandel is not a small thing. Because it's a lot of political opposition to that, because they don't want people to know really what he did and what a great impact he was. They feel, okay, since he's dead now, so we will write our own narrative. We will say how the story was. And it's not true. The Liberians deserve to know the truth about Sandra Khandel.
Thank you. Go back to bed. Enjoy your sleep. Okay.
Thanks,
Thanks for coming,
everyone.
mommy.
All right.
Thanks for coming. I'll talk to you
Okay,
later.
bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, mom. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Mr. Youboty, I
Yeah.
honestly think that she covers all the grounds
Yep.
regarding the issue here tonight with her dad. Um, I'm trying to get this stuff going. We had a call coming in, and I guess so. Let's go to the next phase of the project. We've covered two now. We hear you guys want to do a library. Go ahead, tell
Yeah,
us
we want to do a
about the
library.
project.
A lot of people are saying, why are you building a statue for President Samuel Kanye Doe? Why don't you build a library instead in his memory to be called Samuel Kanye Doe Library? And there are a lot of poor people are hungry, they can't find food to eat. All that money you're taking to build a statue, you can use it to feed the poor people or build a library. So, when they saying these things, Volcano, what pops in my head is the Holy Bible, Jesus Christ. There's somewhere in the Bible, I don't know exactly where, but Jesus was sitting down with the disciple when Mary Magdalene came. She came with some perfume and stuff and took her long hair, rubbed perfume around it to go wipe Jesus' feet. So while she was doing that, one of the outspoken disciples, Judas, yelled, Master, why is it that this woman is using her hair and perfume that she bought with money to wipe your feet? We got all the poor people out there. She go and use that money to feed the poor. And Jesus Christ said, and I paraphrase, Judas, why are you rebuking the lady? We will always have poor people, but we will not always have me. So James Youboty is saying, yeah, there will be poor people all over the world, but they got statues of people, great men of old. They got Abraham Lincoln, Andrew Jackson, Martin Luther King, you name it. Even you go to the Eastern Europe, they got Stalin, they got Brezhnev, they got maybe Gorbachev, I'm not too sure, Chairman Mao, everybody's statue is there. There is a reason why they got those statues. Now, do you
All
think
right.
there's no poor people? So because you put a statue also, there will be, so the poor people, if you don't put a statue, there will be no poor people. Is that what you saying?
All
Jesus
right. I got a
Christ.
caller on the line, James. I got a call on the line. Caller, where you calling from and what's your name?
Hello, this is Ashford calling from Detroit.
All right. So the
Oh,
giant, the host of the show. This guy decided to sneak on me there tonight.
yeah.
Welcome.
But Well, first of all, Shelton, I want to say a big thank you for such an awesome job on the platform tonight, hosting the president of the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. And I also want to applaud Mr. Youboty and the membership of the GGAA for taking up the task as well. I just wanted to ask Mr. Youboty whose idea it was and putting up a statue in the name of the former president of the Grand Gedeh Association. And over the last couple of days, I listened to Mr. Youboty, and he said something that was very touching. He said they were behind the mansion, and Samuel Doe was asked to leave the country, and he said, "No, I'm going to stay. I cannot just leave my people." I want you to please expand on that for the audience, and again, who ideas was in establishing the statue in the name of the late president. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ashford. Are you leaving or are you going to? Okay, he's gone. So answer those questions.
Oh, okay, thank you, Mr. Garley. Thank you very much. I was coming on your show live, but you sent a proxy, but you doing a great job. You left me in good hands. Apparently, you know what you're doing.
And
So
just
thank
before
you
you
for.
answer the question quick, the number to call is 404-272-2808. I'm about to post it for you, callers who want to quiz Mr. Youboty tonight. Continue, Mr. Youboty.
You said they're gonna quiz me. Thank you. The statue idea primarily came from me, and I carried to my partisan, so to speak. And they said, "Oh yeah, it's a good idea." So I said, "Okay, we're gonna put it on the platform." We were putting ideas together for the platform. Okay, we want to lead Grand Gedeh Association. What is our platform? So everybody was bringing the ideas. So I brought the idea of the statue, and my constituents thought it was a good idea, so we included it on the platform. And what Mr. Garley want me to expand on?
So just before you go to the second part of the question, call the Cash App number for the fundraiser, so I can put it in here.
Okay, the cash app number is you can send the money. The cash app is 215-669-9272. We actually got the full cash app number. I don't know how many numbers you can take. How many can you take?
I'm just going to put it on. So just go ahead, call them.
Okay, that you're gonna see James Youboty. That's my number. Then I got my treasurer. His name is Crispy Remio. Crispy number is 804 365 2818. Then we also have Precious ZD. Her number is 763-496-9892. And we have Miss Regina Collar, 515-633-7781. The last number 610-504-5497. Definitely Nyimpan. So you can send the cash app to any of these numbers. The money, your name will be added on the list. We have a list on Facebook. We are updating it as we get more donation coming in. So you send your money to any of these numbers, your name will be listed. Thank you very much in advance.
All right. So go to Ashford question now regarding President Doe's sentiment about not leaving his people behind when he was asked to leave the country.
Okay. So on a particular day, I will just jump straight to there because I had qualification before I got there, but also were interested in that behind the mansion thing. So behind the mansion, the very day, I was a freelance journalist, Ministry of Education. So I had a camera going around taking pictures and stuff. And we were at BTC. Then somebody at BTC, like pinched all that the American people were going to the mansion. So we went to the mansion. And true to the world, we got there and we saw them going up the ramp. There's a ramp that go to the mansion. We saw the Suburban, the Cadillac, the Cadillac sedan, all that stuff. They were up there for a good 1 to 2 hours, and then they left. As soon as they left, President Doe, we saw the Crown Victoria, silver color, coming down from the ramp. It came behind the mansion where the executive mansion battalion commander is General Nimlin. He came there, the window came down. It was President Doe himself driving the car. So the soldier went and said, "Oh, Chief, General Nimlin, that is, the chief is outside. The president wants to see you." So General Nimlin came outside, and President Doe brought the window down. We all saw him. He was waving at everybody. And then for some reason, he pointed at me at how I was skinny. I had my camera. He said, "Who's that press man?" So General Nimlin looked back. He said, "Oh, that's Youboty." So the president said, "Oh, you Susan and so person brother?" I said, "Yes." So she said, "Oh, okay. Well, I want to tell everybody here that the American people just came and left. They came to say that I should get in the car and go with them. So they'll carry me to exile." So I told them, "Thank you, but no thanks. But you see all my people here beyond the mansion and to BDC, if I were to leave with you, then what become of them? Now, if you guys say, okay, President Doe, come on, we brought a ship right here for you and all your people to leave. Fine, then I will leave. But you're not going to take me alone and leave my people here to be killed. So I'm not going to go. I will stay here with my people." That's what President Doe told us. So you shouldn't be afraid. I'm here. The Chancellor won't war. Let him come. We will fight and defend the Republic of Liberia. So we all clapped. And President Doe, he drove back up the ramp. So I am saying Samuel Kanye Doe can never be Jesus Christ. Far from it. For we have all sinned and come short to the glory of God. The Holy Bible says he was a sinner like you and me. He did his part. But be that as it may, he died like Jesus Christ for Liberian people, especially Crown people. This is the man who says you will not allow the sovereignty of the Republic of Liberia to fall. So you will stand and protect the Constitution because you want to change in government. You go to ballot, but you don't go become rebel and come. So he didn't flee. It was like a few days thereafter that the ECOMOG people invited him to the port, and we all knew the rest of the story. He was captured by Prince Johnson and killed. So I am saying, since that time, it's been about 30 years now, this year making it 31 September, nobody has done anything about preserving the legacy of President Doe. We don't know where his body is. So why don't we at least build a statue in his honor so that people will remember him? Before Samuel Doe came, maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong, but I know I'm not. Hardly anybody heard about Crown people. The predominant choir, Crown is a part of a group, a section. They call it choir, KWA. So in that choir group, we got Bassa, we got Grable, we got Crew, then we got Crown. In that choir group, the prominent choir group where you either Bassa or you Grable and you Crew. Nobody heard about Crown before until Samuel Doe came. Then they started hearing about Crown people. All because of the one Samuel Doe man who became head of state April 12, 1980. Then when it came time, the war came, Doe said, "Oh, I'm not going to leave my people to go. Because when I leave, they will kill all of them." The people who brought the war, they had a manifesto. In that manifesto, loosely, they said, When the war is over, history will say there was once a tribe in Liberia called Crown. There was once a county in Liberia called Grand Gedeh. If Samuel Doe had fled, that was going to be a reality. You know that? If Doe had left, like somebody says, so you kill the snake and you cut off the hair, what the rest of the body will do? Nothing. If Doe had just left, all of us were going to be killed because we were not going to have a shepherd. All the sheep were going to be slaughtered. But by Doe standing his ground, he gave us the vigor to stand and protect the Republic of Liberia. So this is the man we're talking about now. I'm not saying that Doe was perfect. I'm just saying let's preserve his legacy. Let's make sure that people coming after us will know that the first native president we had in Liberia was Samuel Kanye Doe. Let's make sure that when Pushkin was sure he didn't run to abandon the Republic, he made sure that Republic was protected until the interim government came. And
So at this time, at this time, just on that last note, how many people will you have? Can you approximate was in the mansion yard at this point in time?
There were
Just
plenty,
just
you got all the army people, like the 6th Battalion from Bombing Hills, they were all behind the mansion and BDC. The 1st Battalion from what the place name? Shuffling. They all retreated. Everybody walked by way of the Atlantic
the ocean.
and came behind the mansion and BDC. The only people who I will give credit to that didn't retreat, that is 72nd Barrel, 72nd way there in Pinsville.
Yeah, General Joseph Jolly.
My brother, those people did not retreat. The only time they retreated was when they heard that Doe was captured. Then they took the same Atlantic Ocean and they walked all the way to the barrier and the mansion, thereby augmenting the strength of the fighting force there. After Doe died, and it was about preserving the Republic. If you remember when General Bowen turned the key of the mansion over to Amos Sawyer, he said, President Sawyer, welcome. This is the armed forces of the Republic of Liberia. We are now loyal to Samuel Doe alone. We are loyal to the Republic of Liberia. People call us Doe soldier. We are not Doe soldier. We are soldier of the Republic of Liberia. We fought to preserve the sovereignty of the Republic. So since you are here, you are the interim government. This is the key to the mansion, the seat of the president. From today's day, we recognize you as the president of the interim government. That's why General Bowen said, I'm paraphrasing, but he actually did say that somebody took a picture presenting the key to Amos Sawyer. So let's just assume that Samuel Doe left and Charles Taylor demolished the armed forces of Liberia and everybody. Charles Taylor is going to be president in 1990. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, possibly.
No, they definitely. Because what was Prince Johnson going to do? Nothing. Prince Johnson was just there in court. Well, he was lucky. He got Samuel Doe. But as far as the fighting force was concerned, he was no match to Charles Taylor. What was a handful of people going to do? Samuel Doe was captured through strategy. There were a lot of foreign hands that were in the invisible. We're not going to call no name. We all know what happened. But be that as it may, we moving on. My purpose of being here tonight is to solicit contribution so that we'll make sure the statue of President Samuel Kanye Doe is primarily standing up in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County. And we also have the library project and the basketball court. So we need your help. It's not about politics. I'm explaining all of this because there was a question asked and I have to give the answer. I'm not out here for who is right, who is wrong, who is political, who is not. I'm here to appeal to you that please give us your contribution. Let's help to erect the statue in Grand Gedeh County of President Samuel Kanye Doe.
Thank you, Mr. Youboty. Thank you. If you just joining us, this is Ashford Garley Live. We want to encourage you to call the number 404-272-2808 if you're interested in participating verbally on the program tonight. Better still, you can chime in, write your chats, and if possibly we're able to get to them, we'll read them. But you still have the opportunity to call. this discussion here tonight is not political in nature. It's just a matter of raising some kind of fund for an organization based there in the U.S., the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas, to embark on 3 projects that are currently spearheading. One of those projects is a basketball court at the Grand Gedeh Community College in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County. They've already procured the backboard for the court. The next phase is now to get the ground surfaced so that they can be able to start the layer of the concrete for the basketball court. The second project is the Samuel Khandel, former President Samuel Khandel statue. It's already being paid for and is in route. It's being shipped and is hopefully going to be in Liberia in March or April, the most, to be erected somewhere when an area is identified in Grand Gedeh County, particularly in the capital city, Zwedru. There will be an elaborate program, in fact, during the launching of that statue. The next phase now, before we take leave of Mr. Youboty, is the library. So, the library, what the estimated cost of this library?
The last time I checked, the architect I sent it, that's about almost $80,000. It's gonna be not just a library, but an internet cafe. So that when you are in Zwedru and you go around the library, you are online. We're gonna have a router, a wireless router with strong hotspot signal that will put everybody online around the library. We'll have books in there, we'll have computers, laptops, and what have you. In there, we hope to have a little conference room in there, or a little, so people will have meetings and all of that. Everything the plan is so beautiful. Some architect in Monrovia drew that plan and sent it to us.
Do you have
So
do you have capacity? Do you think of how many people will be in the library at the same time? You're talking library staff. You're talking about people who are going to utilize the library, the capacity for him on, and also for books.
Volcano, they're gonna have library size like the way it is in other libraries around. I mean, Zuru is not that populated like Monrovia, so at least it's gonna be commensurate with the population of the town. But I'm not gonna come out here and say, oh, there will be 50 people in there, 100 people in there. No, I
But
feel
it's
lying to you.
important. It's important, Mr. Youboty. If you you,
Everything is in
you
the
can't
plan, but
you
I don't
can't
have
build
the
a house and
capacity.
say you don't know how many people are going to sleep in it. you
No,
know.
no, no, nobody gonna be sleeping in there. No,
No,
nobody
I'm
gonna
just
be.
saying you can't build your house and don't know how many people you assume will sleep in it. So the
Okay.
size of a library, the library
It,
capacity may be 100 people at a time. We'll be able to have 2,000 books, 3,000 books, stuff like that. We may have 4 bathrooms, 2 for female, 2 for male. Those are the kinds of things. So
I knew you're going to go into details like that. I would have had the plan up on my screen because everything
okay.
is in the flow plan. I don't have it before me right now. Or there will also book drive. There's a man out here in Philadelphia who is already donating 1,000 books to the library. Mr. Robert Dewey. Let me call his name. Let me tell you, thank you in advance. So once the library project is started, the books will solicit books donation from the universities. Out here in America, every year or two, they can change the books. And those books, they are changing the old books to them, but the brand new books for us in Africa.
No, they
So,
just let me tell you something. We all went to school. Sometimes it's just 1 or 2 pages in the book. It's
mm,
it's how the professors make their money.
yeah,
But books are not obsolete until at least 5 to 10 years.
yeah.
To say the truth. So yeah, so that person gonna donate books, one
Mr.
thousand books.
Robert, he called me. In fact, he keep calling me. He said he got 1,000 books. I should go pick them up. My problem is that I don't have nowhere to keep them right now. We want to see if we can rent a storage to keep those things in there. So other people call me, they got bedding material for the hospital and all that stuff. But where would I keep them? That's my problem. Or maybe we'll ask the board to see if it will approve for us to rent a storage to keep these things until we are ready to ship them. But right now we have not reached there yet. So let's concentrate on our contemporary, which is the Samuel Doe statue and the basketball court.
I asked a question earlier regarding political implications. Have you guys okay, just before I do that, let me go to the line quick. I have a caller. Caller from all right, the call drop.
Oh,
Um have you guys reached out to this current government? Because I understand you're doing something in the country for the county, but again, it's good to reach out to the powers that be and see, what they can do. Have you
yeah.
have you have your organization done that
We actually did it through the Ministry of Information. What the man name? Minister Nangbe. His name
at the
Nangbe,
time?
right? Yeah, we told the we didn't ask like in terms of the government helping us financially, but rather informing them that we are building a statue of President Samuel Doe in Grand Gedeh. And we were told through our liaison officer that they don't have anything against that you build a statue for your son in your county, that there shouldn't be any prohibition against that. But if you asking as to whether we asking for financial assistance, was that the premise of your question?
No. The reason I'm asking, yes, because you're going to be building statue for President Doe. The overall controversies around everything, the war, how people felt President Doe was this. Other people felt President Doe was this. Other people say, oh, he was a good man. Other people, so going to build a statue is symbolic of who he
Yeah.
was, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everybody be for it. So probably reaching the government so you can get the blessing or the green light would be the right thing to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
and
actually
so that's what you
contacted the
did.
government in the light that I explained, but the one that you talking now, maybe we need to do something about that ASAP. But about a year ago, when the statue idea first came, we did inform the government about that. We informed the government in Monrovia and in Grand Gedeh and the legislative caucus, Grand Gedeh legislative caucus.
Good, good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's come back to the GAA. Currently, you talked about some of the struggle you're faced with now, your leadership, your leader who is always in action, and you like to be in the physical. This whole pandemic and what is happening right now has put a tint on what you guys intending to do. But looking at these projects, the first two seem to be doable.
Yeah.
How long will it take for the library to be ready?
In America, they say money talk
But is it
and something else walk.
is it gonna be in your tenure? Will it be when you are president,
I'm
or
hoping
it might
I'm
if
hoping
the
and
next
praying
person
because
might inherit it? So
constitutionally I'm
so
entitled to
we,
4
we don't
years.
want to hear the next person say I inherited or broke GGAA.
Constitutionally, I'm entitled to 4 years. I'm in my
Okay.
first years. So I still got a long time. How long? So long you have money though, labor is very reasonable in Liberia. We're in good 6 months now, you finish building the edifice. So once we have the funds available and we're working on modalities to get the funds. I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag yet, but right now we are mainly concentrating on the statue and the basketball court. But also, if anybody want to contribute, but you want your contribution to go towards the library, that will also be good. But well, I have seen people putting up an edifice in 3-4 months. So if we are an organization, we can come out with $50,000 to $80,000. We can put on our library in 6-7 months. You know,
So
yeah.
someone here says a particular topic or subject, but there are new discoveries being made over the years. We have to be careful and not to provide books published in the 1980s. But listen, Mr. Writer, and that's Dr. Kula, books in the 1980s are as important as books today, because a library is a place where you keep books. So I would want to read a book from 1980 if it had research related substance that would back what I'm researching. So
Especially science
yeah,
and mathematics and history book. I mean, if you're talking current events and what
yeah,
have
you
you,
got to have books of
but
yesteryears.
Mathematics will be mathematics all the way from Archimedes time. It's the same math we're dealing with today. You know, yes. So,
All right, we're about to take leave of you, Mr. Youboty. Is there any thing that we left out concerning this project, the fund drive that you want to just touch on? We cover the Cash App. The good thing is that these programs can always be watched forever
mhm.
because it's going to be in the repository. So people will watch and they will see this, posting out here. But is there anything else that you want to just touch on before we wrap up?
Well, Mr. Shelton, thank you for giving us the platform. Thank you to Mr. Ashford, Garley, to everybody listening or watching me. I would say that it is a good thing for you to contribute to this worthwhile project. Please let's do it to preserve the legacy of a great president of Liberia, a man who got so many firsts to his name. Or you will not regret at all for doing that. Or don't sit aside and allow other people to do this, because ordinary people do extraordinary stuff. And ordinary as I am putting my hands in something that, extraordinary people who have done a long time ago. It been like 30 years since President Doe died, but we still keep his name afloat. So it is in this light. Thank God it is a lot of people been calling me, oh, James, thank you and your government for the effort. We just waiting on our tax return, then we'll be sending our contribution. So we understand that it's COVID-19 time. Cash is hard to come by. A lot of people not working. But please, I'm appealing to you. Once you get your cash return, or if you get a stimulus check, just make your contribution to this process. This is not other people's project. This is our project. We have to do it. When I start to stand it up in Zwedru, it will put Zwedru in a different light. See, that start will be on Google Map. You put Samuel Doe statue in Google, the image will be right there. A lot of people will go to Zwedru just to take picture with the statue. It will be a tourist attraction. People go right here to Washington, D.C. You have to take picture with Abraham Lincoln, with Martin Luther King standing there, with Andrew Jackson, and what have you. That's what statues are for. So please, it might look ordinary to you right now, but it is not. Please take it very serious and send your cash app. To those of you in Liberia listening, we already have people who will receive mobile money contribution. We will put a flyer up, and or some people are expressing concern about sending the money to cash out. They want to send it to Zelle so that the money will go directly into the association account. Okay, we're putting that together. Actually, I should have done it, but for the past 2, 3 days here in Philadelphia, we are all indoors because of the weather. So I was not able to venture outside. Thank God the weather has passed for the next few days. So hopefully I will try to set up the Zelle before next week pass. But I will say thank you very much, Mr. Shelton. Thank you to Bridge Radio for giving us the audience, Mr. Garley. Please don't say, oh, we gave you audience, so we did our part. No, we will appreciate it. Donation that comes from you. Thank you so much. We have the list going up. We updating the list as a donation come in. As it pertains to the library, we have a specific uh is that the word machination? I don't want to use machination. We have a specific task, something we're trying to put together to raise funds for the library. Pretty soon you'll hear about it. I don't want to jump the gun. So, Mr. Shelton, thank you so much. Everybody nice to me. Nobody called me to cuss me or cuss my mind like the other people do on the other show. You are very gentle. You ask me civilized questions. I really appreciate that. Thank you, mommy. Thank you for calling away Liberia. I know it's very late, but to show that you guys appreciate what we are doing, so you call in, you woke up from bed and call. Thank you, Silu, for the comment you wrote. Uh, we want to tell you guys thank you for having our back, for proving to the world that the statue looks like your father, and you put all the naysayers asunder. So that next time anybody come to say, oh, the statue, he look like do it look like Chinese man, or everybody say, oh, did you see the Bridge Radio show? Samuel Doe, when children came, they say, look like their father. So where you come from? So I think if we don't accomplish anything tonight, at least we accomplish that one. So thank you, Mr. Sheldon. Thank you, Mr. Garley, for giving me this platform. Thank you so much. I will
And
rest my
thank you, Mr. Youboty, for coming in studios to discuss this. We hope that we'll catch up somewhere down the road as the projects, continue to manifest. Thank you again. Thank you so much. We'll see you. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All
Take
right.
care.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ashford Garley Live right here on Bridge Radio Africa. Volcano Shelton with you tonight. We've been covering the fundraising program spearheaded by the Grand Gedeh Association in the Americas. We just spoke with the current president, Mr. James Youboty, and we talked about the three projects that they're raising fund to cover. One of those projects is a basketball court at the Grand Gedeh Community College in Zwedru, and followed by a statue that has been built and shipped from China, will be in Liberia in March or April to be erected in Grand Gedeh County, particularly in Zwedru. And the third project is a library that is expected to be built also in Zwedru, Grand Gedeh County. We want to thank all of you, our viewers and listeners: Michael, Clark, Remio, Bottom Kula, Robin Obuya, David Banto, Mohammed Kamar, Comfort Abu, Letty Brooks Roberts. But in fact, we want to remind you that next week, Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday, again, next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m., we're going to have Commissioner Massa Washington from the TRC. The last time we had her, we covered some of the things, the work of the TRC. This time around, because of the volume of the recommendations, we're going to use 3 days in next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days in next week, to talk about the recommendations from the TRC, almost 50 recommendations. She did mention that if those recommendations were being used by any government, a lot could change for Liberia, because the recommendation is the blueprint that should have changed the country, and so people downplaying the recommendations, so we'll be covering them. So we want you to put that on your calendar, book it 8 o'clock on Monday, book 8 o'clock on Wednesday, and book 8 o'clock on Friday next week. We'll have Commissioner Massa Washington, who was one of the commissioners on the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So just want to say thank you so much. It was a wonderful evening. Keep warm. Share the video. You still have the opportunity to do that. And we look forward to being here on Monday with Massa Washington. Hopefully, Mr. Ashford Garley. Ashford will be in the house. We don't know, but hopefully he'll be here. My name is Volcano Shelton. Thanking you for being there with us. We'll catch up with you again on Monday.